I could get drunk off the lights of a city. Late night phone calls just to say you miss me, but you don't. No, you don't. Drop my phone now, that shit's broken. 2 a.m. and I'm lost in Brooklyn, missing home. I know you don't.
Hello everyone, welcome back to the Smite Draft League Week 5 Divine Division game between Sanctified on the side of Order, and on the side of Chaos we have Wild Inferno. Love a good thematic matching there. I'm Deelo, joined here by my co-caster Cosmic Warrior. Cosmic Warriors, we get into these back end of the regular season at Week 5. How are we feeling?
It's interesting because it's always, these weeks that are nearing the very end, but not quite, the last week or something like that are most interesting. And on top of that, we've had, such a big and impactful game changing patch that it really, really makes for some interesting Smite. I mean, we're seeing bans that we haven't seen in years in a high competitive scene. We're seeing a constant Aphrodite ban, which is it's been a while since we've seen something like that, and it's just really something interesting to see. And I like the direction the game is moving in.
Absolutely. It's definitely quite the shakeup there. We're seeing, as you said, things that have never really been brought to the forefront of the competitive Smite League of any sort until now, right now. And in fact, one of those examples being made here, Hell being the first lock-in we're seeing here from Sanctified. Obviously, you want to get your Aphrodite first out, but Hell is definitely a great runner-up as a healer.
Absolutely, and I mean this could very well be a house support. That's something we saw happen just in the SPL kickoff tourney. It was piloted, ended up being by one of the teams in the grand finals. So, maybe they're taking a little bit inspiration from that and putting it in the support, leaving open some room for the mid laner here. A lot of picks coming through very quickly. We see Hades very, very strong in the solo lane right now. Different mage items that you typically go. I've seen people building Doom Orb on him in solo lane. Other than that, CERN just a very strong hunter ADC. Have seen different hunter builds as far as your blood forges are concerned and whatnot. So yeah, definitely some a little kind of fresh smite as we've seen in the last few weeks.
And it's always great to see new life being breathed back into the game. Whether or not you like the healing meta or you enjoy it, you got to say it's different. It's a change up. It forces you to adapt and think about the game differently, and that's always a good thing in my opinion. But I'm seeing that we're having some good foot thinking here, on your feet thinking here from Sanctified, locking out a lot of supports rather than big damage options here in the back end of the draft. Odin being locked out, I think, is a very wise move. Honestly, might have even been should have been done earlier, in my opinion. But they managed to snap that one away from them because Cernanos, Hades, and Hell all love their heals, and they don't want that being taken away by a big old cage.
Yep, no kidding. Very great point. But like furthermore, just about the changing of the game, it really goes to show who's the absolute best of the best, who can really adapt to a game. Because I mean, Smite's always changing. Smite's constantly getting updates. It's constantly getting patches, changing everything. And it's one thing to just have tons of practice on a current game state and be good at it, but being able to play into new, completely different territories and just have an understanding and knowledge, just being able to crunch numbers of items and buffs and changes, it really goes to show who is really incredibly skilled at the game.
Absolutely, and these people, if anyone, are capable of it. That's why they're sitting here in the game, and I'm here on the sidelines watching overhead. But absolutely, and we are seeing a bit of traditional here, and I think that's going to be pretty common. Not everyone wants to. I think it's smart to subvert to a certain extent. Make sure you're still comfortable. You don't need to subvert for the sake of it. Make sure you're doing it with purpose in mind. Right now, we're seeing some picks that we've seen before, even before the healing meta got shaken up here. We have the Atlas on the support side of Sanctified, as well as the Cleaner. You can only imagine it's being taken to the jungle. Does seem that Hell will be taken into the mid lane. What are our thoughts on this comp that's been locked in here by Sanctified?
Seems like a decent comp. The changes to hell, very viable in both, in the mid. I mentioned the support, but obviously very viable in the mid. I really like this comp. On the other side, Merlin, obviously very, very strong. I'm not super convinced about the Rama pick. I feel like there's some stronger picks there, but a good Ravana. Did I say Rama or Ravana? I meant Ravana if I said Rama. I think the Ravana, not so sure about it. Rama, very strong. Maui, I mean, Maui's just Maui. Yeah, just solid drafts overall by both sides. I think I might prefer Sanctified's draft here a little bit.
I like the easy ranged CC that's provided here by the Atlas, as well as the Cernunnos with that mass root that you can get going on, as well as Hades. I've seen a Divine game recently with a Hades, and it caused absolute havoc. A potential Blink Pillar of Agony can cause massive chaos there, especially if it's not interrupted easily. Or you can, of course, just opt with the version of just dashing in. The standard Hades combo can provide a lot of confusion disruption, as well as the Kleena. I always love to see a Kleena pick because it can be very wily if you use that passive to the best extent you can possible. I think Kleena leaves a lot of room for a high skill ceiling and some fun play here. But on the other side, we do see some pretty big threats being locked in. Maui, of course, always going to be someone to look at for those big landfalls to either kick off or maybe in the middle of a team fight even to just further shake up the battlefield, make sure that people are locked off from each other. And looking at it right now, not too many of these gods are able to circumvent what is created by the landfall, that massive island that can block off an entire jungle path. Hades being the only one with a real means of getting out of that. Everyone else being locked into dashes and means that can only just move horizontally without any vertical movement. So something to consider there when it comes to these bigger engagements that happen in the jungle. We're going to have to see how they utilize that. But that being said, only one way to see how everyone executes this right now. That's by getting into the game. We will see you all shortly for game one.
I could get drunk off the lights of a city. Late night phone calls just to say you miss me, but you don't. No, you don't. Drop my phone out, that shit's broken. 2 a.m. and I'm lost in Brooklyn, missing home. I know you don't. When we were on, I'd always thought we would make it, but now you're gone. Baby, you're a ghost. I'm caught up in a landslide, mental on the low end. When I used to feel alive, now there's a hole in the city, can't feel shit. Where do I go? Cause I know you don't feel this. Can't catch a break for God's sakes. Feel like I'm waking up and I'm caught in the wake. Yeah, I know this is my funeral on parade. I did it to myself cause I always thought you would feel the same, and I know you don't. Drunk off the lights of a city, late night phone calls just to say you miss me, but you don't. No, you don't. Drop my phone out, that shit's broken. 2 a.m. and I'm lost in Brooklyn, missing home. I know you don't. Let's hit the brakes. I'm pulling out the parachute, jumping out the plane. You had it all in front of you, nothing feels the same. It's crazy what love can do, even crazier when it's not coming back to you. You say you need space, so I gave you all the states. Every night a different place. Used to think we're getting closer, now we're drifting away. And all I can say is that I'm feeling wasted. I could get drunk off the lights of a city. Late night phone calls just to say you miss me, but you don't. No, you don't.
Welcome on back, guys. Hope we weren't gone too long there. You're seeing here Smite Draft League Week 5 Divide Division game between Sanctified and Wild Inferno here. What's always an interesting part, Cosmic, is that we don't really get to talk about it because, of course, it's only one very small fraction of the game, but whenever there's a new big patch, new big alterations to the map, new starts are going on, and hold on, it's looking quite dangerous right here for the members of the Sanctified. But what are our thoughts on the comparison between the starts we're seeing between these two teams?
I mean, they're fairly similar. I think the only big difference was that jungler and mid started in opposite places. I think Reyhum just missed his one there in the light stance for him. Just not gonna let that one go unchecked. But it's fairly similar. I think just Wild Inferno did it a little bit more effectively, able to get to the lane much faster. Now we're seeing the effect, the changes that have happened to Hell, being able to use that light stance one to clear the minion wave. So not too much harm. Overall, I think barkyj ends up losing out on farm just a little bit, but able to go to his speed buff fairly quickly to maybe look back towards this mid lane or left lane that we see so often being the case. But yeah, just not too big of differences, but I've said this a lot, but it's just those small differences and small leads and disadvantages the teams gain. Hold on. Oh, beads forced out by Hack. He
But
still
the
takes a
tower
tower
shot
shot.
still hit quite a bit of damage right now with no choice but to retreat. barkyj with the rotation over, but a bit too late. That was looking quite deadly. Just unfortunately not able to pre-beads that one, and gonna have to eat that a large amount of poke there for it. Yeah, absolutely. And with a god like Hell, when you're making those small mistakes, though, it's at least a little bit easier to negate that punishment that you take for missing those abilities in those camps. You know, small mistakes like that, though, can, of course, as you said, lead to big ones. There's the pre-beat we're looking for. Wish you could have done that, don't you, Rom? But a lot of damage coming on to both sides here. It does seem that Sanctified has the health bar advantage right now, looking right now onto almondbutter, but it still seems like he's going to continue to engage in this fight. Right now, Darkness, though, being left alone, it seems, the split up has happened, and it looks like first blood will be dropped for Wild Inferno right now. Going to be, in fact. HackAustin will take that first blood for themselves.
Early action here in the dual lane. Speaking of which, Frostech dropping dangerously low, not quite able to keep up the pressure that the Hades affords. But I mean, you know, just a 3v3, fairly long engagement over on the duo side. You know, it seemed like that bit of advantage that they gained themselves by HackAustin taking quite a bit of poke just didn't really matter, as you know, health pots at this stage of the game do a very effective amount of health. Obviously, it's got a little bit of lifesteal in the kit, which obviously has been nerfed, so not the most effect there. But you know, just yeah, as I was saying, just at this stage, health pots are gonna get you right back up to speed. And Modern Inferno took the opportunity to punish Sanctified for a little bit of over-aggression.
Speaking of a bit of over-aggression right now, well, not even over-aggression, just aggression in general, Sanctified going to steal a little cheeky blue buff for themselves over there on the solo side there. Nice job bullying up that Mulan as much as you can in the laning phase, where we know she doesn't do very well over there. But what honestly upset me a little bit about that fight was Sanctified really had the advantage at first. It seemed like maybe a bit of miscommunication there, where King of Darkness was kind of caught lacking, separated by the Gold Fury pit. From the other teammates who were fleeing as well. So not only was the engage seemed fine, but the disengage seemed completely off. I honestly didn't even think they needed to get disengaged. They had almond butter quite low. If all three had focused their attention, that first blood could have been completely reversed onto the Wild Inferno support. But unfortunately, not going to come to pass right now. And now it seems Wild Inferno riding that wave going to put some aggression on the purple buff.
Sure are. Double pull in by King of Darkness trying to secure that purple buff. They are able to do it. Wild Inferno might have been able to secure a small or two, but the big prize, that speed or attack speed increase, really the moneymaker there.
Yeah, and they're going to be happy to have that one, especially it seems like buff control falling pretty firmly right now on Sanctified side. Maybe looking to take that away as we do see Zoinked looking to the solo side over a bit. Nope, not quite. In fact, instead, we're going to have a crash entirely. We will be right back to sort out these technical difficulties. One moment, please. I imagine the pause.
I could get drunk off the lights of a city. Late night phone calls just to say you miss me, but you don't. No, you don't. Drop my phone now, that shit's broken. 2 a.m. and I'm lost in Brooklyn, missing home. I know you don't.
Apologies there, folks. Nothing really much has happened over here on the solo side here. Let's talk about the solo side, though. We didn't really get to talk about the Mulan pick here. Why do you think Frostech's going for that Mulan, knowing that they're going to really be sacrificing this laning phase to the Hades?
It's a great question because I'm glad you brought this up because I think Mulan is kind of just a bad pick here. I mean, Mulan excels in the mid to early game, but Hades just kind of prevents Mulan from ever getting to a stage where she can get ahead and get off early rotations to really have the most effect that she really can. And I don't know if that was something necessarily that Frostech was considering when picking it, but I feel like he's gonna see the impact of it because you know a late game Hades I think is just a lot stronger than a late game Mulan, and I think an early game Hades is also a lot stronger than a Mulan, and it all just prevents the sort of Goldilocks phase where you are in Mulan. Nico trying to extend his lead might be getting punished for it.
Yeah, it seems that Zoinked is aware of the Hades power through all phases of the game right now, but gonna get a hefty heal for that, and Zoinked's gonna realize quickly this is not a tenable gank, unfortunately. Gonna just come back with nothing. They got a blue buff for it, but lost an ult. Maybe gonna put on some more aggression right here. We do see some further rotations onto this solo lane side from Wild Inferno, but it seems like nothing will come of it. I do agree with you, though. I mean, by means I'm no solo expert. Frostech knows what they're doing more than I do, but I feel like Ama overall, especially in this healing-based meta, is just going to overall provide more utility for your team and also not get nearly as bullied out in the laning phase by the Hades. Whereas here we're going to be seeing a lot of that, but hold on a second, getting bullied out a little bit is almondbutter getting pulled back in. The Gamma Ray is going to come down. The landfall will come up though. Bit late there on that beat, it seems, but meanwhile, just as we said would come to pass, Nico gonna get a kill on a Frostech. They're unfortunate, and the mid lane will remain secure for Sanctified. 1-1 now, evened up on the boards.
Yeah, credit where credit is due. I believe Reyhum was beating the root that Zoinked had applied to him, not necessarily
Apologies,
the
my
landfall.
friend.
It's
In
okay,
that
I can
case, credit,
understand
but
the...
landfall will, unfortunately, it'll hit, but not going to be very significant there. That's also very notable. You know, with the landfall, you do have a decent amount of time to react. If you're already in that stance, you can cleanse that on reaction there, hopefully, as the hell, and get your team out of a really hairy scenario. I'm not sure what the heck would happen, though, if you're just stuck in the middle of the island. I imagine you're just shoved to one side, but it'd be an interesting interaction to see. Nonetheless, of course, the knockup's going to be what's very valuable there, so you have some opportunity to really negate some massive engages there from Wild Inferno as hell. You're going to be relying on Reyhum to be hitting those cleanses very, very nicely.
Yeah, certainly. It seems like it would be difficult to do. Oh my lord, xSquidTooMid, what has happened to you?
Uh-oh.
Never
But
seen
again,
that
another thing you can
cleanse.
cleanse out there, the Master Fisherman, but looking to be in a bit of trouble right now. Still pursuing almondbutter, but no support to follow up, and the support themselves not going to be the biggest threat, especially when you have Darkness, King of Darkness especially, coming up there. That is the monarch of all things dark right there. Frostech looking to get some aggression of their own on board right now, but Nico's having none of it. Gonna have to ult out, and you're seeing that happen multiple times. That ult having to be used defensively rather than offensively, but an offensive ult now coming in from Zoinked. Gonna get the root off. I'll bring the pull in. Gonna fall Nico really quickly there. Hades, unfortunately, not gonna be able to stand up to 2. Both but both pretty happy with how that engagement went. Another kill for Wild Inferno.
Certainly able to shut him down before he's even able to get the ult off. That's exactly what you want to see. You need to be shutting down this Hades. It's going to be essential to having any sort of control on the right side of the map. Just given the very unfortunate matchup that I think Frostech has put themselves in. But yeah, I think there's a large mechanical gap between good hells and bad hells, and it's just being able to hit really effective cleanses. It's not super easy. I mean, if you're in the light stance and doing it to, you know, a landfall, it's possible, but it's going to be difficult. But like you said, the value of it can be just absolutely insane.
This is looking a
Reyhum's
bit dangerous right now. Reyhum's
constant
taking a bit of
poke.
damage.
Able to
The
heal it
both
back up quite nicely, though.
Yeah, seems like they're going to be okay at the moment. That was looking quite dicey. Like, Reyhum made some interesting decisions there. Juked out the solar swing very well, rather than going back into the mid lane to the waiting arms of xSquidTooMid, but then decided to do it anyway. Didn't get, you know, hell never punished, never lost, because it's hell and you're going to be able to heal that back up, but bit dangerous. You don't really want to be seeing that risky positioning, because like we said, small mistakes, they add up. They pay dividends later in the game, so hopefully Reyhum will learn their lesson a bit from that one, but it seems to actually be continuing this aggression right now. But this time with support of the jungler, barkyj going to be coming in here, and we also see the landfall come out. Raven ult has been dropped. barkyj going to find the kill on almondbutter. Solid one there. Going to continue on this offensive. A bunch of rifts have been teared open in the by the Cleta there, and we also do see the Gamma Ray will come down. So carries rotate on over, and Nico's got another kill on a Frostech. That's not news over there. Snipes will be coming out. The cleanse has been expended already. The snipe will be good. HackAustin showing that aimbot's going to be good there for them. The Wild Hunt blessing has been put down there. Going to get one. barkyj going to pick up another kill on a xSquidTooMid, but not before HackAustin's able to get another kill right there, putting himself in the killing spree. Bloodforged shield is going to provide a little bit more health there. You're fighting against a tank, though, right now. It's going to take quite a bit of damage. FullOfShrimp has now made the rotation on over. Pulled back into the brambles. Looking to be in a bit of trouble. The solo has now made the rotation. Staff slam going to be good. Solar swing, though, going to stun him inside the tower. That's going to be a kill on almondbutter's ledger. 5-5 is the end zone. I have no idea who even won that one out. I think Sanctified got one extra kill out of it, but yeesh, bloodbath there in the mid lane area.
Quite deadly there. A great rotation there from HackAustin, getting that initial kill with the snipes. Very, very impressive. Picking up another one as well. Unfortunately, Full of Shrimp also hit a pretty nice ult onto Zoinked, but just wasn't able to find that last auto attack, and he walked away. HackAustin obviously does fall, but it's at the cost of Hades. So I don't think it's a terrible trade by any means, given that he was 3-0 at the time, but not quite as ideal as you want to be. It's still just very, very even. Gold lead of, I think, less than 400, about 500, uh, in favor of Inferno, which at this point is just absolutely nothing. So we're seeing a very dead even match at this point.
Absolutely, and if we're looking at the kill out and assist allocation there, it's pretty solid as well. You know, you might say, oh, okay, 1 kill got onto the Maui, that's not great, but you look at the jungler's got all kill participation, assists, and kills. But hold on a second, because we do see the support almondbutter being looked at a bit. They recognize him as a threat because they say he got 1 kill, we got to get him, we got to shut him down. That Maui's looking to be a threat, but no, not going to be quite brought down yet. A lot of aggression though in this mid lane. I'm liking it. I always like to see when mids are not content to just sit back and farm. It seems Reyhum really is looking out for blood.
Sure, one thing I've noticed differently about Merlin's. Hold on, Nico. Actually, under a little bit of poke by Frostech here, does look like we're entering another pause. Don't worry though,
Yeah,
you won't have
Nico
to
said,
wait for very
ow, you're not
long.
supposed to do that. It's against the rules. I
I'm
call timeout. You
supposed to
can't
be
hurt me on
winning.
Hades. Oh,
All right, we're back. It
a
wasn't a
very
long
brief
pause.
moment. We returned back on in here. It seems Frostech trying to turn around the narrative a little bit, but I think it's too little too late. That Hades is going to be able to clear and get a bunch of health back off of one wave. And right now you see the Pestilence likely going to be built out here by the Mulan. We see that coming next. But right at the moment, that anti-heal is not online just yet. And you're going to have to imagine that Inferno is going to really want to be stacking that on to have any chance of stopping the sustain from being a major factor in team fights.
Yeah, another thing about this Mulan pick, if I get the chance to, Zoinked able to walk away unharmed, so I will. It got a pretty significant nerf, in my opinion. I mean, its lifesteal was practically chopped in half, and the reason you build that item is because you want lifesteal. So I go as far to say that that item is pretty terrible at this point. I mean, I think Ducky built it in the SPL, and then he made a tweet saying that it was a bad item. So then, that's what I'm going off. Professional solo laner's opinion. Okay, not just mine, but yeah,
Maybe
just
his internet was down for that one. Unfortunately, Twitter's been fried. He doesn't have the Twitter blue quite yet. Thanks, Elon. So
true.
he couldn't
Yeah,
find that
he's on
notification.
the EU ping or whatever.
Yeah, exactly. So not able to see that tweet maybe quite yet, but we'll see how it pays off for him. Still not by no means anyone out of this game right now. Very up even on the gold, and generally no one's quite fallen too far behind either on the experience side of things. But now Nico looking to maybe do some aggression here. No, just content. Honestly, just keep on farming up. You're gonna imagine that with the farm wars that are being tilted on the side of Sanctified when it comes to solo lane side, maybe a Pyromancer look could be better than the Gold Fury look, because right now the carries, HackAustin's looking to be pretty threatening, honestly, when it comes to the side of Wild Inferno. That's the big threat I'm looking at.
Yeah, I think right now we're ticking over to where Mulan is just really strong, is able to match up a little bit better with the Hades than it was early on. But it's just not a great window that you have for
God.
that. Hold on, small windows. Zoink barely dashes away.
A lot of damage there just from that Clean dash. I mean, that's what Clean
Oh!
specializes in. But hold on a second, didn't have the cleanse soon enough there, and it seems that we might have a bit of trouble there for King of Darkness. Gonna try to pull in someone, but might get pulled down to the fountain himself.
Oh, but he's
It
just
seems
in.
that now Reyhum is on the front lines, though, driving away any chance of them spelling out any more damage. Zoinked quite low. So is XSquidTooMid. Reyhum doing the best job possible as a mid, appealing for their support. Changing roles a little bit, like the Freaky Friday action. Excellent play there from Reyhum.
Honestly, I really love that play, just being pulled in. Two of you, your supports getting yoinked under a tower, and you just don't back off. You got two of them extremely low. If they had taken one wrong step, stayed in range of one auto, then that was just dead, and would have been huge for Sanctified. Great play by Reyhum, just understanding your capabilities. I mean, he just walked into three of them and then casted his Dark Stance 3 and did tons and tons of damage. Very impressive, and that's what you really love to see, the entertaining gameplay that we have here at the Smite Draft League.
There is something to be said about a Maui understanding which god you're pulling in, what they're capable of doing to you once you pull them in with landfall. Because, like you said, the health 3, I think it's called a pulse or something along those lines on the darkness stance, but
I believe
it's
that's correct.
incredibly potent. It's one of her best damaging abilities, and it's harder for her to land because she's got to walk up to you to land it, and she's,
Yep.
a squishy mage. But if you landfall her into the midst of your team, you're doing her job for her. Obviously, she's going to be displaced. Obviously, your team has the opportunity to do damage. But you have to make sure you're doing enough before she can get off hers because your DPSs were looking quite low from that engagement. So you do have to make sure that targeting is on point, and that if you're going to target that hell, you got a backup plan to make sure she's burned down quickly.
Yeah, Merlin was there ready, and that fire stance wasn't quite enough. And here we're just back to the scrapping. Reyhum just not being punished by like at all because of the heals, because of the cleanses, being very strong. Oh my lord!
The damage coming into Pig's form is not going to save him. Rolling on in right now. Kleena dashing a bit too far, missing the mark. HackAustin going to find another kill on a FullOfShrimp right now. And once again, we do see the action replay there of Nico getting a solo kill right there in the mid lane solo lane onto Frostech. Looking quite low is Reyhum right now, but like I said, never punished, but might be punished by these snipes. Once again brought down by HackAustin. The American sniper is here.
Incredible plays by HackAustin. He's not missing.
We do see that the rift is being teared open right now. They're still opting to fight. Wild Inferno is still in this one, but now Nico has made the rotation on in. HackAustin will meet his maker there in Nico, but getting a little bit of a Frostech's experience there. He says, hey, walk a mile in my shoes. Oh my gosh, he's not stopping the aggression, though. It seems that almondbutter might be next on the menu at the moment. The allow fish, though, will allow a bit more mobility. Gonna be able to get out of there safely is almondbutter. But once the rotation came up from Nico, we saw just how much of a problem this Hades is going to be. But I do want to give credit where credit is due, and that is on HackAustin's head right there. Amazing job. Once again, finding the snipes onto Reyhum when he thought he was safe. Fantastic work there, and also just getting amazing damage there just through autos alone on the FullOfShrimp, to the point where FullOfShrimp had to try to ult on out. Just unfortunately kind of dashed the wrong way. A bit of miscommunication there between the teammates because barkyj was not able to follow up and protect their carry. Gonna fall, unfortunately, for that one. Hopefully a bit more smooth gameplay we're gonna see in the future. Nice feeds, and A gets expended on the Merlin. That's just what you want to see this Hades doing.
Yeah, absolutely, and now his ult is back up, so if any point Merlin steps up a little too close and he can dash in, oh, barkyj falls down. King of Darkness not long after. This isn't looking good for Sanctified.
Supplied there, unfortunately, by Reyhum. He didn't have it online, he didn't have the awareness, and now might need them for themselves. Big ult there, though, but no follow-up right now. Just going to turn them into pigs for fun. They have them do a little cosplay. Snipes coming in this time, not going to find their mark. Unlucky there from the ROM. HackAustin not going to be able to get those hacks on quite online just yet, but not hacked out of the game himself. FullOfShrimp going to find revenge onto him. Almondbutter trying to find a pole, but that feed's going to come through, going to find some more damage. This is hell. Maybe we can try to look to heal up the team as they retreat on back underneath this tower. Getting another little kill. Guerrilla war tactics right now, retreating back into the tower. The Pyromancer, though, will be looked at by Wild Inferno.
Yeah, but now the many members that had died of Sanctified are coming up. Kleena actually just opting to go for the speed buff at this point, not wanting to step up. Maybe Wild Inferno isn't quite aware of that. They do end up dropping that Pyromancer entirely, and now at this stage, I'm thinking this would be a great opportunity to be able to go for the Gold Fury. Obviously, not fully aware of where the teams are. Sanctified to secure the Pyromancer.
First objective on the board there, going to be for Sanctified. And it's like I said, I think that the Pyromancer was the wise objective. I mean, in this case, it was started by Wild Inferno, so maybe they were like, hey, that's a good idea. But I think it was a wise play given how dominant Nico's been in this game. Right now, you're seeing it sporting the top numbers on the player damage charts right there, followed closely by the Merlin and then as well by the fellow mid laner. But now it seems Wild Inferno going to try to look to counter objective right now. Gold Fury being looked at, and with very little awareness right now from Sanctified. Looks like this might be a freebie.
Yeah, that burn that Merlin provides is just way too strong, not to mention the crit. 2 crit items already online for Rama. Going to be absolutely shredding that well before any members of Sanctified had any idea of what was going on. Great call by Wild Inferno, just sneaking any little just advantages they can. I mean, a Gold Fury is fairly significant advantage. I wouldn't go as far to say it a little, but just all these differences, and one team making this good play, one team making another. We're back at a stage where it's just practically dead even, a very minor goal difference between the two teams. I think one of the biggest difference makers is going to be how Nico really gets active in this team fights. Obviously, we've seen him getting in over here, rotating in, and it's been a huge effect. He's been much more impactful than Austin. Almond Butter caught out. Ooh.
Just gonna be grinded down to a pulp there the moment he was caught up in the air, swinging for dear life. Excellent job there by Nico, hanging back away from the other teammates, knowing that, okay, if he gets the stun onto 2, I'll dash in, silence, make sure this is a nice and clean sweep, and gonna make it happen there. Excellent job there by Sanctified, picking up another kill. It's guerrilla tactics right now. Hey, step in our jungle, step in our traps. We'll just come find you, kill you, slink back into the woods. Knowing no one's gonna find you, no one's gonna find the body, no one's gonna find us. So, evening it back up on the kills, and doing a solid job right now, just making everyone fear every corner from Wild Inferno, because you might have a cleano waiting around the other one for you.
Wild Inferno grouping on Fire Giant. They taking it or just positioning around? It doesn't look like they're quite committed to take it. Obviously, that would be extremely ambitious, but now multiple members are closing on to Nico. Doesn't look like they even want to full commit onto that, understanding how hard it would be. Oh, but now we might see a vice versa.
This is the exact thing that happened right now to Almond Butter. Might be happening to King of Darkness. No, gonna be able to get out just fine, actually. The support there from his teammates was there, hiding in the wall right now. We do see barkyj gonna sneak a little peek outside there. Nico is here. Nico's level 19. Very significant. That's scary. 3 levels above the opposition solo laner. If Nico's present in a fight, honestly, I don't think that Fire Giant's going to be tenable for you to even try to take down. But they seem to be looking at it still. Wards are dominant right now for Wild Inferno on this side. They really might be poised to try to take a risky gamble here. But right now, the big risk is on for King of Darkness and going to fall this time. No one can save you. Does seem that barkyj now going to be looking to go into a wall. Excellent job using the passive cleaner wisely there. Big damage coming out there on the members of Wild Inferno right now. Frenzy does seem to has been popped, and Zoinked is going to find a kill on the Reyhum. That's really big. Nico going to be found as well. That's really, really big. And now this Fire Giant can be looked at safely, it seems. They're going to be going for it. They do have low health bars, it must be noted, but so does barkyj. FullOfShrimp maybe can make the rotation over alongside their jungler. Seems they might be opting, though, for Wild Inferno to bait, in fact, because they do have the ward coverage. They know when people are coming in. But the longer they stall on this, the more possible it is that they can contest on the side of Sanctified. So you got to be careful. It does seem they're going to be full committing, and it does seem that Sanctified will be turning their tails on this one.
Yeah, I mean, very well played by Wild Inferno. It was a little bit unfortunate there seeing Nico trying to walk up, but she's getting bursted down so quickly by HackAustin, just showing the power, saying, hey, man, I don't really care what happened on your side of the map. I'm a hunter, and I'm just going to crit you, and you're just going to die. So deal with it. You don't want to build defense, you're going to get punished for it. And yeah, just incredible plays by HackAustin there. Now 8-3, an absolute powerhouse of Wild Inferno at this stage. I think he's definitely showing his impact here in game number 1.
Right now, having a completed item and a tier 2 over their Hunter 2 boot, over the opposing Hunter 2 boot right now. Sanctified going to try to scrounge back a little gold in their pockets right now, maybe even that itemization difference up, which I think is wise play. They're knowing that the enemy Wild Inferno members had all pretty low health bars, going to have to retreat on back, and the Fury will be dropped without any issue, but the tier 1 going to fall as well. Looks like that the members of Wild Inferno are keen to make this push into the mid lane a problem for the members of Sanctified. Going to try to loop in the backside to put up a little siege defense.
Yeah, tier 1 not meaning too much. Tier 2 definitely does, though, but Sanctified are here in time to defend it, but you don't really want to overcommit too much. It is Fire Giant that 5 members of Wild Inferno have. Obviously, it's not enhanced Fire Giant, but still, 24 minutes in is going to make a significant difference. We see HackAustin finally ticking over to level 20, just walking in, shredding it, but getting shredded himself almost just as much.
They're trying to dive for him right now, but realizing he's not the prime target that we can access right now, he managed to roll out of that and get to safety. Lasers coming down, though, in a moment. You'll imagine HackAustin's still far away from his team. They might be able to provide snipe support, but still collapsing right now. It does seem on Almond Butter, but not too much damage gotten at the moment. Only half health. HackAustin is rejoined. HackAustin might be brought back down. It seems barkyj going to make it happen, but very low right now himself. All the members right now of Sanctified are looking for worse for wear. King of Darkness will fall, followed by barkyj, and you can only imagine that Nico will be the next one. 3 kills down right now, double for Squid, and that is looking to be quite the unfortunate fight. Reyhum going to be thrown up in the air, but right, like you said, the repulse will be found there as well. Doesn't seem that FullOfShrimp has enough damage maybe to support their teammate. The heals will come clutch, though. Gonna be able to escape with their lives are the carry and mid, the sole survivors right now of this fight. Going to be a 1-for-3, not a trade you're happy with if you're the members of Sanctified. Also a tower down on their mid lane. Phoenix is wide open. This is looking to be quite a scary scenario.
A 1-for-3 trade isn't ever what you want, but if you're Sanctified, the one person you do want that one to be is HackAustin. Not only is he dead and their pushing capabilities on your towers are extremely limited, but you remove the biggest threat's Fire Giant buff, which makes him less of a threat, obviously, and makes it easier for your team to fight back in the next team fight grouping, the next 5v5, as we now see Fire Giant going to be spawning in just a few minutes. Fire Giant buff gone from Wild Inferno. Now Sanctified certainly have a chance. FullOfShrimp being spotted out by Wild Inferno. They're not letting them take any sort of ground around this Fire Giant. They understand what's important, what's going to win them the game. Right now, they're head on farm. They don't need to prioritize it. So while Sanctified are busy doing that, they're going to get in there. They're going to set up the wards. They're going to pick off any stragglers before a team fight even fights. Obviously, not quite able to do so, which is being able to pressure them out just from their capabilities. It just goes to show the power that they behold right now.
It's not even around Fire Giant too. If you saw just a moment ago, like the ward coverage here is absolutely sublime there from Wild Inferno. They're making sure, and that's how they're able to catch out there. Shrimp. You saw him trying to get the buff. Not gonna happen, bozo. Like we're gonna just all come on you right away just to make sure 5 men in force, and that's instantly going to be an issue. If you don't have the ward coverage to ensure that you're getting gold in hand safely, you're gonna get caught out. It's gonna be guerrilla tactics all over again. But right now, Fire Giant getting dropped incredibly quickly. Doesn't seem like they have the awareness or mobility to stop it. Wild Inferno once again securing the fire, and it's looking to be quite the sorry team fight from Sanctified. Pillar of Agony is down, so is the landfall, blocking any retreat right now, it seems. Nico gonna be first to fall potentially? No, it actually might be a member there of the Wild Inferno squad. Frostech gonna fall and trade for Nico, both solos off the map. Heals coming in right now. In the back, we do see King of Darkness. Maybe gonna try to keep almondbutter underneath the tower, but wrapping around the backside, we do see Zoinked gonna try to cut off any escape routes. Does seem to be a successful retreat. No roots happening right away. So it's a 1-for-1 trade, but a Fire Giant for Wild Inferno is just the thing you want to see.
You know, I spent so much time talking about and paying attention to the solo lane matchup and how much impact a Hades is going to have over a Mulan. And don't get me wrong, he has been having an extreme impact, considerably more than Mulan has, but it just hasn't mattered. It just really hasn't. You know, I never stopped to think about this dual lane matchup. Rama is 9-4. HackAustin is 9-4. FullOfShrimp is 1-1. I mean, just the kill participation alone is just absolutely insane by HackAustin now. And, you know, he's just shown his prowess walking into the mid lane at any point, sniping from incredibly long distances, incredibly accurately as well. You know, this is just the type of gameplay that really, really excels in these types of games. For a second, I thought Owen the Veil there might have had a little cheeky thing just from some of that tick damage. But yeah, we're just seeing such a significant lead now from what, you know, as I mentioned, for a long time was a very, very well even game. One Inferno being able to secure all these Fire Giants, pushing these tier 2s, and it seems like a lot of it is thanks to what HackAustin has afforded his team.
Nico's no longer special, buddy. You're not the only level 20 on this field right now. I don't know where things got turned around so badly. Uh-oh, FullOfShrimp might be in quite a bit of trouble. I think, honestly, you're right that this difference between the carries has been quite the tale for them. You know, obviously, the Cernunos, what value they provide is a lot of CC in these big team fight engagements between the Root as well as the Polymorph there. But when we have the Polymorph coming online, we don't even see much follow-up off of it. So really, pound for pound, you're going to be stacking up more value on this ROM, because if that CC doesn't have any follow-up, what's even the point of it? So unfortunately there, HackAustin is going to get the better of their opposition right now, because FullOfShrimp just hasn't been able to provide the exact execution that you need for this god to be valuable. I mean, you have the sustain, which is nice and all, but what sustain matters if you're not getting the damage off? What sustain matters if you're just getting bursted down by these crits?
No kidding. Now we see One Inferno. Sort of soft grouping over here. Frostech actually in pretty deep. potentially could be getting picked off here. Some members lying not too far away.
Gonna
Frostech
blink
forced to
in
ult
right there as
out.
barkyj gonna tear open the veil a couple times there, just 2 times right there. Gonna blast on some ghosts out, but not gonna really get much damage off it. I mean, that wasn't really the best time to do so in my opinion, because they weren't forced by any means to stay inside those tick damage zones. So just gonna be able to escape with both of those charges detonated. Unfortunate. Luckily, those can come back relatively quickly for barkyj, but just not the best engagement. We weren't able to collapse quickly enough onto Frostech. I don't think they really recognized quickly enough how far pushed up Frostech was, because I agree with you, that could have easily been a kill, but just, you know, coulda, woulda, shoulda. Unfortunate there from Sanctified.
Absolutely, and I mean, it seems like Water Inferno are just playing around this fire giant so heavily, being there minutes before it shows up.
Look at the wards!
Yeah, I mean, just incredible wards. This is the type of thing that makes me really, really happy to see when I see it in ranked. Doesn't happen often, but when you do, it's just like, all right, we know what we're doing. We know where the enemies are, what they want to do, and it's just helps the team fight so incredibly much. And just something that a lot of players obviously goes under the radar. I mean, at this level of gameplay, it's not going under the radar. Now, Wild
Fortunate
Inferno,
there. There was some
another
opportunity there for
fire
potential
giant.
steal, but Wild Inferno gonna once again for the third time they'll get the hat trick there on the Fire Giant. The Lord of Agony gonna come out. Solid damage there, but no follow-up. Nico's by himself at the moment, and Reyhum gonna fall first. Big polymorph, potential damage coming online, but FullOfShrimp will fall shortly after. Nico gonna get a kill on a HackAustin. It's the one you want to see, but Nico now looking quite low. Zoinked gonna pick that one up. A double kill for the jungler. In full retreat, we do see that barkyj gonna try to get out, but the jungler wars happen. Triple kill there for Zoinked, gonna follow it on up. Nicely done there by the members of Wild Inferno, all EFG'd up and looking to take this game.
4 members of Wild Inferno now with EFG. Obviously, HackAustin, their primary tower pusher, not on it. It's going to be up to the assassin and mid laner, and just the
That's
effort
slow
from
going.
everybody. It's slow going, but it's definitely going. Not many people on Sanctified to defend it. Looks like they're going to get, at the very least, 2 Phoenixes, and that's going to be absolutely huge. As soon as HackAustin comes in, you pick another fight. Maybe we're on Oni Fury or on this left side Phoenix, and that's very quickly just going to turn into the Titan room.
We've been talking a lot about how HackAustin and the damage he's been providing, but I gotta give credit to Zoinked. I have not really been noticing the Ravon damage that's been coming out here, but that was incredibly significant. Really burst down the ability to pursue everyone, too, on the members of Sanctified as they tried to flee, just absolutely rooting any possibility of escape there. Excellent job from the jungler of Wild Inferno. And speaking of blocking escape right there, big landfall gonna... what? Wait, what?
Hell is flying.
That's
Cheers, wings, and
incredible. I didn't know
flew.
that was a new patch. I guess they really buffed Hell. But can they make it work? It seems quite a bit of damage on the almondbutter retreating on out. The polymorph will not find its mark. Just unfortunately a bit too late once they had already been paying attention to the damage coming onto them from Sanctified. What happened there with Hell? I mean, I know she's got wings, but you can't do that. That's not allowed.
Yeah, seems like she just got a little bit caught up on the terrain there, quickly falling down. However, now Oni Fury actually secured by Sanctified. Inferno not stepping up to try to do it. Seems like they were able to apply quite a bit of poke despite the situation that they find themselves in. Now, I think I'm really glad you actually had brought up what Zoinked is doing. I mean, yeah, HackAustin, I mean, I could talk all day about him. It's very easy to talk about who's, getting the flashy plays and whatnot. But I mean, Zoinked is 7-0. And I was kind of smack talking his Ravana pick in the picks and bans, saying that, not too much reason for it. There are better junglers out there, which I mean, okay, I still agree with. But I mean, if Zoinked is going to be doing this consistently, then there's also just no reason not to pick it because he's getting the value out of it. He's getting the picks. He's getting the chase down, the team fight impacts out of it. Everything you want from a jungler is being achieved by Zoinked on this Rama, and in a rather flashy and spectacular fashion, at least as far as KD is concerned.
Yeah, absolutely. And you know what's nice about a Robin that I'm just thinking about? The ultimate. You know, you oftentimes, with the Brawler's Beat Stick especially, you have the Brawler's Beat Stick, you're going to initiate. Oftentimes, some abilities that initiate, you have to dash first and then cast the ability that's going to do some damage. But with the ultimate, you're not only engaging, you're not only closing that gap, but you're also dealing damage instantly and applying that debuff there that's up healing. What's the Hell going to do on reaction? Hell's going to probably cleanse and try to heal, but that heal is going to be far less significant So instantly providing value when engaging like that, especially in this team that's so heal heavy, is actually really, really nice. If you think about the logistics there, the ins and outs, the ABCs of it. So Raven, not a bad pick for this scenario. Like you said, are there potentially other gods that could have been maybe better, serve their purpose a bit better? Yes, but maybe it's a comfort pick. Maybe this is just what Zoinked knows,
Mm-hmm.
and Zoink's putting it
Mm-hmm.
to perfection, honestly. Can't complain with 7-0.
Yeah, we're seeing a bit of a cheeky new change from Hell, being able to throw that one through the walls, getting some decent poke on the members of Wild Inferno. Now the fights are really kicking off.
Looking to see if we can just maybe get one pick from off Wild Inferno to just stave off the offensive coming on. We do see the darkness falling a bit low, some damage coming from the rips. Right now, it does seem almondbutter is a bit worse for wear. Frostech, the front line in general of Wild Inferno is taking a bit of poke. Gonna maybe retreat on back to the jungle to heal up a bit, regen, and come back for more in a bit. Right now, rotating on over. The FG is back up. That is indeed their target, but Sanctified's not poked out too much in the slightest, honestly. And with Hell heals, without being mitigated, could be caught out right now. Is Squid gonna be able to flicker on out, but the ensuing chase is gonna come from Reyhum.
Yeah, absolutely. Ooh, King of Darkness going down. Man, Wild Inferno not letting up at all.
Reyhum not
Frostech-
paying attention to low health almondbutter behind him, who just got eyes only for the Robin right now. Zoink, though, gonna be just fine. Sorry, that's Frostech. That's Mulan that's quite low. barkyj gonna be, in fact, chased by that Robin, who's looking awfully scary and purple.
Oh!
It's too late for you to go into that wall, buddy. Zoink with a second triple kill of the game. Squid gonna pick up Nico. Deicide there for Wild Inferno onto Sanctified, and the game will shortly follow. This Raven combined alongside this XSquidTooMid Merlin, alongside the HackAustin Rom, has formed a core of damage that has been too much to surmount from Sanctified. That's going to be game one in their pockets, looking dominant the entire way through. Excellent job there from the members of Wild Inferno. We will see you at the desk.
I could get drunk off the lights of a city. Late night phone calls just to say you miss me, but you don't. No, you don't. Drop my phone now, that shit's broken. 2 a.m. and I'm lost in Brooklyn, missing home. I know you don't. When we were on, I'd always thought we would make
Welcome on back, everyone. If you just saw the same game that me and Cosmic just saw, you saw Wild Inferno after what seemed to be not only just, it was a bit dicey at first, but then really leveled up to be even for quite some time before falling firmly in their favor. And once they got the gas pedal in their control, they never let off it. Cosmic, what happened here?
I mean, HackAustin just rotated in, got some massive crits off in these team fights, got some incredible snipes. Zoinked cleaning up expertly. XSquidTooMid just being the absolute damage dealer that he needs to be. It was just hard to deal with overall by the Sanctified draft. You know, I don't think it was an inherently bad draft. In fact, I really liked the Hades pick over here. It just didn't quite do enough for them, and you know, just leading into that end game where they're just positioning so well, so perfectly in the jungle, having such incredible ward coverage overall, just made it absolutely in favor of Wild Inferno in these fights. Now they
Yeah,
were grouping. Sorry,
No, continue, please.
just a little bit more. They were just grouping really consistently around this fire giant, which is obviously good. But if Sanctified, you know, are taking notes as to what happened in game one, and they go and try to do if Wild Inferno tries to do the same thing in game number two, then it's going to be really predictable. By Sanctified, I think they're going to know where they are. They're going to know their game plan and strategy. Come, you know, the late game, which is where it really started to matter for Sanctified, where they actually started to lose. As you mentioned, it had been very even. Then, you know, maybe Sanctified can, you know, draft a little bit differently, position a little bit differently, have better ward coverage, and really try to punish that playstyle that Wild Inferno has been going for.
Yeah, speaking of like seeing where they're like going to be at all times, Wild Inferno really had that vision control, and I think vision matters, man. Obviously, if you're executing your abilities, all well and good, but vision matters because that allows you to know where they're going to be at the right time. You don't have to worry about zoning a vast swath of area. If you know they're coming through this narrow channel, you can have people placed there, poised there for the ambush, and they made sure to do that. Every fire giant went the way of Wild Inferno. Why do you think that is? Vision, man. Vision really can set you up for success here. I liked the comp of Sanctified. I did. I just found that even though they had setup, sometimes what can be frustrating is when you have some big ultimates that can really provide a lot of disruption, but not enough setup for them, such as the Serdunos ult, which requires you to at least get someone nailed down in position for a little bit to make sure they stay inside that ring. You have that here, though. Unfortunately, whenever I saw those big pillars of agony come from Nico, we saw that one time when Nico really engaged far into the back lines of Wild Inferno on a Fire Giant push. Not Fire Giant push, but a Fire Giant attempt onto the Fire Giant. Nico got a big Pillar of Agony, zero follow-up, unfortunately. Nico was at Nico's best when he was in the lane, just soloing away at Frostech, honestly. Got some really good kills that way. It was during those smaller engagements that Nico really shined, but wasn't able to really bring those massive engagements that set up the team for success. And is isn't necessarily Hades' job, no, but it's one of the people you could look to for that. We didn't really see too much of it come from King of Darkness, unfortunately, either. Just weren't many great pulls that could be followed up on for the rest of the team to just collapse onto. So they had the damage, they just weren't able to find it cohesively onto a single target ever. And meanwhile, HackAustin plucking away at that bowstring, the dragons coming in from XSquidTooMid. Almondbutter was having a great time with some easy landfalls that set them up for some really nice engagements, blocked off people, disrupted, put hell up in a tree for some reason. High-res, you might want to look at that one. But overall, it just ended up being their game to win. Wild Inferno took it because they had the vision. They had the vision literally and figuratively, and they also had the gods on tap to make it happen. So hopefully we can see some changes up here from Sanctified. Always nice to see a little bit of a comeback tour, but only one way to find out. We will see you all shortly for the Game 2 draft. Hello everyone, welcome on back to the Smite Draft League Divine Division games. Same sides here. We have Sanctified on the side of Order and Wild Inferno on the side of Chaos. I'm Deelo, joined here by Cosmic Warrior. Apologies there. And Cosmic, we talked a little bit how we're looking to see some changes here from Sanctified as far as comp goes, as far as just execution of their playstyle goes as well. But let's get into the specifics. What kind of comps are we looking to maybe see? What kind of changes do we want to see applied here in the draft room from the members of Sanctified?
I mean, we spoke for a very long time about it on the desk segment there, so I won't get too much into it. Just try not to repeat myself as much as we did. I think the one of the biggest one was that the Atlas just didn't feel like it was doing much for me. The polls weren't really landing as consistently as a Maui was being effective with them, or he did similar damage to the Maui in the game, but honestly, it's just not about damage. You're playing the support. You want lockdown, you want CC, and you want peel. Just didn't feel like the Atlas was providing quite enough of. I mean, he was just constantly getting ulted by the Maui alongside his teammates, and I mean, what are you gonna do then? Just very rough time for Atlas. I think they could pick the Maui themselves, or just go into a different direction. Someone who can match that sort of just insane pressure, lockdown, uh, and just displacement that it seems that Maui provided.
If anything, I feel like Reyhum was honestly doing most of the peel for the team. Honestly, whenever you saw that King Shark was be fleeing an engagement, very low health, you saw Reyhum stepping up to the plate to take on the role of the support, do some peel with the repulse there on the health 3 from the darkness form, and also get some heals going. So I agree with you. I would like to see maybe like something like an Athena could be nice if you want to run a similar comp, which it seems like they do here. They have faith in the hell. They're sticking by the hell. What are your thoughts on that?
Yeah, I mean the hell wasn't bad. I mean you had mentioned the how much use that hell's gotten out of this, as far as helping your teammates, but she also had top damage last game out of anybody in the whole game, and more damage than Merlin, and more damage than Rama as well. So I don't hate the hell. I in fact quite like it. You know, with the Cernunos locking in, it leaves a little bit of a sour taste in my mouth. I didn't really love the Cernunos. Didn't seem like they were doing it very well.
Oh,
Okay, glad to
hold on. They're doing
see.
put on your chair two hat, my friend. You just got a prediction.
I sure did. I'm glad to see that we're not seeing a salty run back, which is what I was slightly fearing. But yeah, they're picking up the Maui, which is what I like to see. I think it's going to make a big difference in their draft. I think it's going to help the Cernunos pick, which seeing it locked in again, despite not having a ton of value in game one. I definitely going to see a little bit more value out of that, holding them down for the ultimate, pulling multiple members in to get hit by that ultimate. Yeah, I definitely like this change there, and there's a reason I suggested it.
And it seems like we're just having a full reversal here. Now, going to be employing the Hades are the members of Wild Inferno. Could be a scary thing if that dives onto Hell. If you dive onto Hell and she tries to cleanse herself out of the Pillars of Agony, if you're near the center of that, I'm not sure you can get out of that safely, honestly. Hades could be really effective at shutting down this Hell with the burst that's provided. I do indeed agree that the Maui is a nice change of pace and a breath of fresh air. Going to be able to lock down people a bit more easily, I think, than the Atlas was managing. But we do see a change up here coming from the Thor. Seems like we're going with pretty much the same flavors here, with a little bit of salt, a little bit of extra flavor they're throwing in, a little bit of extra spice from the Thor now being changed up. I like the Thor pick. Thor pick's great. Hell is going to be once again put into pressure though, because if Thor gets off that full burst CC combo, someone's dead. You got to try to cleanse that ASAP. Got to make sure that you're maybe even pre-cleansing your spot on the ground if you see that Anvil of Dawn is coming for you. So you got to be careful there.
And not an easy task that will be interesting to see that Sanctified was just not pushed away from their ban style. They didn't bother banning the Rama, didn't bother banning the Ravana, which I don't hate. I've said this. It's so easy to just be like, oh, ban this god, he did well, ban that, ban that. But a player's still the player, no matter which god they're playing, and they're going to be able to find use if they're good. So I prefer them to just stick to their guns. They
Ooh.
don't want to play against the Afro. Whoo,
Do they want to play against
spicy
Poseidon though?
Poseidon pin, dude.
I love a
Poseidon.
Poseidon pick. I love a Poseidon pick here because it's again burst, which is what a comp that's going to be looking for sustain is afraid of. If you don't have the chance for a long, you can't heal up if you're dead. So if you have a long engagement that you're worried about, just lock in someone who can burst and 100-0 someone, easy peasy. Are they gonna just really run back with just switching up a couple of the gods from the enemy team? Very interesting. Hercules though being locked in here for Nico this time, and the Ravana is going to be the final pick to round it out. Seems that they're fans of Wild Inferno's comp, going to try to employ pieces of it, mixed with a little bit of their own flavors, a little bit of their own twist on it. The Athena pick, I like that a lot. I like how Wild Inferno is not making, they're making sure not to sacrifice their support's damage output. They're just looking for CC. They're looking for setting up these 100-0 setups. And I think that's very wise. That's the name of your game there. It seems that they're playing to it. They have a comp really, really lined up to just burst someone down.
Yeah, absolutely, and that's just what you need to be in a hell. You don't want to be a poke cop versus a hell, because you're absolutely not going to do anything. The entire game is just going to heal everything back up, going to cleanse your teammates, and you're just not going to have a very fun time playing against us. So I think they drafted extremely strongly, specifically against the draft that Sanctified has been pushing, or has just tried to do, and had some effect that made the game even for so long in game number one. So they're just trying to close out this game quicker than they did in game number one, and just give us a nice clean 2-0 in the set. But I mean, we could sit here and talk about picks and drafts and matchups and comps for hours and hours and hours, but we're not going to know the results of the game until we get in it. So don't go anywhere. We right back with game number 2.
I don't wanna feel as cold as the winter. Let me sink into your bedroom floor. Lovely how lonely we are together. Crazy how I hold on for a little more. Drive into the night. I miss you sleeping. Where did you go? As soft as your breathing. You left me alone, and I miss the late nights. So where did you go? 'Cause you were my safe ride. Now I drive alone. Don't hit like they used to. Never as high as it was when I'm with you. So I drink to cope, it's an issue, okay. New Year's Day, so now it's a new me. Tell me why I'm so fucking lonely. I don't know why you won't love me the same. Drive into the night. I miss you sleeping. Where did you go? As soft as your breathing. You left me alone, and I miss the late nights. So where did you go? 'Cause you were my safe ride. Now I drive alone. I miss you sleeping. As soft as your breathing. You left me alone. I miss the late nights. 'Cause you were my safe ride. Now I drive alone. I miss you sleeping. Where did you go? As soft as your breathing. You left me alone, and I miss the late nights. So where did you go? 'Cause you were my safe ride.
Hello everyone, welcome on back to the Smite Draft League Divine Division game between Sanctified trying to take a game back from Wild Inferno that they have lost. Right now we are seeing the buffs being dropped here. What I did not notice here in the draft, Cosmic, is that Hey901, who's been subbed in by the way, is picking up the ROM, and HackAustin we're going to see on the side. What are our thoughts on this little shift up? I honestly thought that the comfort pick would be for HackAustin to stay on the ROM, but interesting switch up there.
I mean, HackAustin did play incredibly well on the Rama. Perhaps Hey 901 not too comfortable on the mid lane. I think that HackAustin has shown his skill, but we're seeing a bit of a cheeky gank over here. Frostech is clueless.
Only level 1 right now, and that's going to spell it almost an instant defeat. Your Hades heals aren't good enough right now. barkyj going to shut down Frostech. Frostech saying, hey, that's not how it worked last game. What the heck, man? Hades not going to be clutching it up this time, unfortunately, at least to start. Nice
Not
first blood there for Sanctified. Going to reverse it, because Wild Inferno got it first last time.
Yeah, absolutely. I didn't quite expect that level 2 gank. barkyj able to just walk up right behind him before Frostech had any idea. Reaper putting on the hurt.
Oh, unfortunately, they're not going to get that ability off. The one from Hell did not find its mark onto HackAustin. I don't think it would have killed either way. Just would have provided a bit more safety and heals. Reyhum, though, going to be able to get on out of there, though, with some nice heals there. Once Thor dumped all the kit. Uh-oh. Big wall. They're blocking off the path right now. Berserker's Barrage not going to do quite enough, but they're in full pursuit right now of Reyhum. That boost of speed, though, going to be quite nice. The Whirlpool going to slow him down. Going back in 21 seconds,
what?
he says.
No.
One basic away. Not going to quite find it, though, unfortunately, there for Reyhum. Might be in a bit of trouble right now himself. Low on mana. HackAustin might be going back in, but we do see barkyj coming in to support.
And you know, last patch, Hell would not be able to do this for one reason. He would have ran out of mana freaking 2 minutes ago. But
Yeah.
now that the license one, look at that! Look at that little nice little cheeky mana buff, mana boost that he gets from it. I don't know why I'm saying cheeky so much, but
Oh,
the
that was a cheeky kill right there. As soon as the camera went away, Reyhum
the
sneaking one onto
millisecond.
HackAustin there. Uh-oh, rolling on
Oh,
in though is Hey901 going to try to find one of the opposing carry. FullOfShrimp going to be able to escape. Both members of the duo lane in Wild Inferno quite low there. Great peel, great escape there from FullOfShrimp, and great peel there from King of Darkness. Going to be able to escape on out of there just fine. And Reyhum going to pick up a nice kill over in the mid lane right now. Sanctified looking to turn this one around. Early game, it's looking quite nice.
absolutely. I mean, seemed like we were watching that hell nearly kill for nearly the entire early game, and then the millisecond we move away to look at someone else, he finally is able to finish the job. But yeah, I mean, incredible display over there in the dual lane by King of Darkness. Absolutely perfect timing shell. Great stun by him. Happy to see that even so early on, finding just a little bit more success with this dual lane pick.
Yeah, and that always feels really nice mentally when you're like validated in your new pick. You know, you say to yourself, okay, I'm gonna change this one up. Or maybe in the case of Reyhum, you say, I'm gonna stick by this one. Always nice when it's validated early. That makes you feel really good. Gotta make sure you're not riding that confidence wave too hard there. Gonna give blow a little kiss right there to barkyj, but that's not an Aphrodite. That is needed. Hell, gonna heal him up a little bit as he moves alongside the jungle to pick up some more camps. Yeah, I'm liking Reyhum's been aggressive throughout this entire stack so far, and I'm liking to see that continue on. Doesn't seem like Reyhum has any intent of letting off that gas pedal, and honestly, it's been working out pretty well. Like we said, hell was not the issue when it came to the last game, so no issue in my eyes with continuing that aggression right here, but does seem to be getting a bit aggressive right now, fighting on over that shield buff. Wild Inferno will take that one to get a little bit of revenge for not being able to pick up that kill quite before. What are your thoughts? So, Poseidon pick into the hell. We've seen it, unfortunately, not quite work out for HackAustin so far, but what are our thoughts on how it's going to look when it comes to these bigger engagements?
I mean, we kind of mentioned this in the picks and bans. Is just going for a heavy burst mage as opposed to a poke is definitely what you want to be going against a hell, not giving them the opportunity to heal up their low health bars if their entire health bars are simply missing. Oh, hey
Might be
nine with
missing
the
yours right now,
Raging
Ray. I'm gonna get out of
rotation.
there. Clem's gonna get rid of the slow right now. Gonna put on a little bit of a heal for themselves. Snipes, though, might be telling the same story as before.
Come on.
HackAustin gave that aimbot over to Hey901. He's gonna be
No.
landing in a landfall. Just want to see what the interaction was like, I guess. Almond Butter on the full retreat right now. Anvil of Dawn gonna find one, though. barkyj gonna pick up the kill, though, before any CC can put on. Big baseball gonna provide some big damage there. HackAustin looking quite low, but everyone's gonna be retreat just fine. A kill on each side there. They're both pretty happy with that one. But, gotta say, Almond Butter was one to fall on the side of Wild Inferno. If you're gonna lose support, you're pretty happy with that one.
Yeah, absolutely. King of Darkness, unfortunately, just a teeny bit early on that ultimate. He was trying to time it for when he came down, but before he was able to get his beads off, unfortunately, not able to get that timing perfectly right. It's not the easiest thing to do.
No, for
Um,
sure.
it definitely seems easier than it looks. Just but that perfect timing of doing it as they're coming down. Oh,
Oh
wow.
my god! Blown
See
up there
ya.
by the Kraken. Taunt interrupted any follow-up damage that could come off that Great Fisherman there. Fantastic work there by the members of Wild Inferno to interrupt any plans that Sanctified made. Not only ruin them, but just completely tear them apart themselves. Excellent work, reversing it on 2 kills to 3. Favor Sanctified right now, but that might be changing. Another fight going on for barkyj. Gonna try to engage onto Zoinked. And it seems that he's gonna be having a reverse on him. Quite a bit of damage, gonna get the up down to negate some of that. But now King of Darkness by yourself right now. Your support, my friend. You cannot challenge those two.
Certainly can't as he gets taunted back in. The wall comes out. Solar Swing, however, might just save him. Oh, the snipes, though. Shut down any hopes he
901!
had.
Providing these snipes. Oh my gosh, Chris Kyle in the sky is gonna take it there. Another kill picked up easily, it seems, from Hey901. Don't have to be in the action to get something for yourself. Right now, we do see Reyhum's gonna try to retreat. Heals have been provided already, but it's not gonna be enough. Hey901 gonna pick up another kill, this time very close to the action. Anvil of Dawn will come in right onto barkyj underneath the tower. Another kill. Wild Inferno has completely turned what we thought was very good early pressure from Sanctified onto its head. Gonna maybe be able to get this Gold Fury as another consolation prize to boot. Sanctified's looking sorry at the moment. Man, it looks so good. What happened?
Oh, I mean, Wild Inferno were just in deep. Sanctified tried to step up. couldn't quite
Ooh.
do it. Ooh, decent.
Good engagement right now. Landfall as well as the Cernal going to come in, but right now FullOfShrimp is so low. Hey 901, it doesn't matter who that ROM is being played on. It's going to stop you, Shrimp. That Shrimp has indeed been vaned, you might even say. Gonna have the Kraken fall into Reyhum. Those heals might not be enough. Gonna get the 1 and the 3, but neither is gonna work. King of Darkness will fall soon afterward. HackAustin gonna be providing that one. barkyj is now gonna just have to retreat on back and watch as the stomping continues. Gonna try to once again resume this gold fury. Are the members of Wild Inferno. 4 kills to 8. What happened? In 5 minutes, everything has just been completely reversed. I'm in topsy-turvy town.
That small spark that Sanctified had coming from that rough loss in game number 1 has been absolutely snuffed out by Wild Inferno. Are we sure that HackAustin doesn't have like 2 keyboards? Because the gameplay has been almost identical to game number 1. We've seen early rotations, we've seen insane snipes, and just overall incredible value coming out of Rama. I mean, just great job by Hey901. It's absolutely not an insult to him to be saying that his Rama gameplay reminds me of HackAustin. If game 1 is anything to judge it off of, because I mean, this is just absolutely incredible, arguably even a little bit flashier than what HackAustin achieved in game number 1, being 5-0 right now. Incredible work by Inferno and just Hey901. I mean, that was insane.
To be fair, even though it seems like things have been swung so severely right at this moment, Wild Inferno not very far ahead in gold. Only level difference is really significant, and it is a bad one. About a level and a half behind right now between the 2 carries. Hold on, gonna try to get maybe some on the HackAustin there. Revenge for the Rama game. Nico gonna pull another one on a Frostech there in the solo lane. Really not letting Frostech feel good about that 80s pick at the moment. Zoinked was trying to make something happen. At the moment, though, looking to be quite in a bit of trouble. The Robin rotation. Baseball from long range. Why'd you give it up, unfortunately? Nico gonna drop the pressure and gonna drop the kill potentially as well. Defender of Olympus gonna come in at the moment onto the carry. Hey, 901 gonna look for something here onto FullOfShrimp. FullOfShrimp at half health, now full at health, unfortunately, despite the namesake. Gonna be just retreating underneath the tower, waiting for a rotation from the fellow support. Seems that they're gonna be safe at the moment, at the very least, though. Good awareness to make sure you're backing out of the situation, because Hey901 right now is a threat. The ROM is the one to look at, no matter what game it is.
Now, I didn't see what happened in the right lane. I wasn't looking at the map, but I had zero information. But just judging by where where Hercules had ended up, the health he was on. Man, can I just talk for a second, please? Thank you very much.
Not seeing HackAustin is intent on letting the casters cast, but hold on. Big rotation coming in here. Taunt is good. Not going to find the cleanse soon enough. Zoinked going to pick that one up. That is the issue with Hell. If you do not have anything to preemptively get yourself out of these CC chains, you are Dunsky. And the Athena easily able to provide that. It's sad because, like, we talked about, oh, now it'd be great, but honestly, I thought that Athena would be a great thing to take off because it's such an
you did mention that.
engage. No prediction available really for the taunt unless you see her dash in. And right there, it was just a little late. Amazing walls coming in here too. Don't swing back, man. You got to get out of there. It's looking like King of Darkness is going to fall soon. He's been dethroned. Zoinked gonna pick that one up on the killing spree.
All right, I'm gonna be stubborn. I'm gonna talk about the solo kill. Okay,
go for it.
Hercules was super low. I think Frostech was out pressuring him easily, but he just walked up under tower. Or not quite under tower, but near tower, and as someone with 7 stars on Hercules, if you walk near my tower, I'm sorry, you're just in it now, and I don't care what health I'm on and what health you are, I'm soloing you, and then I'm spam laughing you for being dumb. Not to say
can't really do that one.
That is dumb, but that is what I think might have happened there. Can't say for sure, but that is my prediction as a Hercules main, to say the least. Now we can get back to
the true combo. We're not gonna be seeing much more Nico after this game, everyone. To apologize, but at least he's exiting on a bang.
It's okay. He has my grace. He has my grace.
Does seem we're gonna have some more aggression coming in the mid lane. Landfall's been pretty solid here from King of Darkness we're seeing, and it's gonna lock out right now the support. But that big Kraken hitting 3. Putting all of the half health right now. HackAustin gonna solo, or just with the fear alone from the Poseidon, gonna make all 3 retreat. They got a kill for it at the very least. So honestly, they're still happy, but it's got to feel bad just being retreating from one member, all three in tow, just completely tail between their legs, deathly afraid of this Poseidon. HackAustin can make it happen no matter which lane they're in.
Yeah, I mean, he's been absolutely insane. These Krakens have been incredibly on point, almost saving almond butter, but I mean, just the power that the three of them held there, that repulse being hard to miss on Hell. So now Defender of Olympus comes out and Anvil Dawn comes up. What are Inferno trying to go for?
Big shutdown there from Reyhum onto Hey 901. It seems the rotation did not work out quite well. Anvil of Dawn neither. Did not find anyone, just maybe a bit more positioning going on there. Oh, nice taunt. Big damage from the double tap. Gonna have to swing up and down. I'm really nervous when King of Darkness does that, because always staying there for a bit too much long for their own good. barkyj, though, gonna pick up HackAustin. They're in the retreat. That Poseidon can no longer bother you right now. Going to follow up on a Zoink, perhaps. Zoink not maybe realizing the situation. A lot of damage from that Hell 1. Not going to quite find a kill, though. The double tap was enough to secure a bit more pressure. And the Athena taunt soloing right now. You're the only one there at the moment for your team on Wild Inferno. Gonna retreat is Almond Butter. It does seem that, though, the Pyromancer was secured for Sanctified. Gonna pick up a bomb in your pocket for that.
Yeah, but it seemed like despite that big lead that Inferno had built for themselves, that we saw just around that left side fight when Hey 9 rotated in and got some huge value out of it, Sanctified now see themselves sitting with about a comfortable 900 gold lead. I think the largest we've seen this game so far. Could be wrong about that. Unfortunately, we'll be going into a brief pause. Very brief indeed, as games already unpausing. I need to stop doing that. What are you pausing that for?
They're just really trying to keep us on our toes right now. Appreciate that, guys. Thank you very much for making sure we're doing our jobs, getting our paycheck, getting them gems. So it does seem that right now, at the moment, we're pretty even up. In fact, the gold swung back in favor of Sanctified after that Pyromancer sneak. Hold on a second, though, because Frostech is looking to be quite a bit of trouble. Once again, wondering, why did I pick this Hades? Silence going to buy a little bit more time with the heal staff slam as well. Nico still going to find it, though. barkyj going to try to engage on the opposing jungler. Zoink looking to be a bit worse for wear. What this Hades pick just really seems to have fallen to the wayside. Obviously, we don't know what engagement's going to happen when it comes to the rotations, because we haven't seen it quite yet. Oh my gosh, big evasion of the Kraken there from barkyj, negating that as a factor for the next engagement. Excellent work.
Yeah, you know, the thing about Poseidon is you normally drop your 3 on them and they can't just simply jump out of it. It doesn't matter for Ravana. His Mystic Rush becomes CC immune, and he doesn't really care about your cripple. So great use of that. Rayburn, though, dropping low.
A lot of damage there from the double tap combination. Zoinked gonna pick one up there on the Reyhum. Heals no longer gonna be supplied in mass. Gotta be careful about that. Pushed into the back line is Almond Butter, but Almond Butter's got a dash. Gonna be just fine. And that's already one pretty important pick, especially if we see the rotations coming in from Frostech. Lurking around, so is Nico. Gonna be pushing into this tower. Hey 901 is gonna try to drop one, and you can only imagine it's likely gonna rotate on over afterwards. But a big rotation coming in from Sanctified. Hey 901, you gotta get out of there, my friend.
Go now.
Quite a bit of trouble if you don't.
They're not. Oh no, they think they're pinging him out. Yeah, he is getting spotted, but they're not quite fully hard committing, which is interesting. Because I think if they do, then they can just open the doors wide open for this Gold Fury. They're sitting literally right on top of a ward. I mean, that guy is quite literally just about hugging that ward there. Hey 901, very, very aware of what's happening. Uh-oh.
Nico actually going to find a lot of healing right there of the mitigate wounds, but going to be in a lot of trouble. 3-member rotation there. The global presence from the Athena is not lost on him. Going to actually dash away from the double tap at the perfect angle, and without the stun online, actually going to evade it. Reyhum, meanwhile, big killing HackAustin in trade for his own life. The mids have swapped themselves out. Excellent job, though, must be said, for Nico getting out of the situation. Wild Inferno looking a bit worse for wear, as we do see the engage be followed up with by barkyj.
Nico, my man's got hit by Anvil of Dawn, Pillars of Agony, Athena taunt, and just walked away. He didn't care.
Landfall gonna look for Zoinked right now, and he's being brought down very low. Hercules baseball gonna find a kill. Zoinked is now out of this one. Landfall's been expended. going to likely be able to get out of you. Can only imagine is Frostech. Good preemptive beads there, going to be able to dash beneath the wall. Excellent work there from Frostech, understanding the situation, knowing what they're picking up, what they're putting down, and picking up the beads there to make sure that they get out of that safely. Going to lose one, not the worst, but still unfortunate. You don't want to be losing people around the fire giant, especially when Pyro's coming back up. There's a lot of gold that could potentially be put in pocket. And if Sanctified decides to be risky, they could very well go for a fire giant off another pick.
I can understand going beads on Hades. I think it's fine. You know, you just beads in general, hard to go wrong with. But Aegis as well on solo lane Hades is a little bit crazy. Also, opting to go for an Emperor's is a little bit different style from what we saw that Nico playing that brought him a lot of effect. And to be fair, wasn't quite able to win it, but oh my lord.
The effect really coming in from that Kraken. Going to lose both mid laners again, but Poseidon's done his job. Poseidon's gotten rid of the healing. Oh wait, hold on, it wasn't even Reyhum, it was barkyj. Never mind, the healing's still present. Very much so, and Zoinked is aware of that. Gonna try to shut it down. It's still at full health though, as Reyhum's gonna be just fine. Frostech lurking in the back. Could have a chance for a big pillar of agony right now. Gonna find two. Walking on out though is Reyhum. And we do see King of Darkness hang on to what little life they have. Cleanse gonna be big. A nice heal there from the one. Gonna find him. Get him out safely. Nico now looking for some big driving strikes. Gonna beat that one as Hang on one. Gonna have to make sure you stay alive. All members of Wild Inferno looking quite low right now. Gonna be pursuing his members Sanctified. And with the hell heals available to give some extra movement, gonna be quite troublesome. Almondbutter might be the first to fall. Chasing after, and we do see the debuff coming in. The whirlpools are so great to make sure your team is at least a bit defended. Only one leading the charge at the moment is Nico, and he notices. Gonna have to retreat on back. That's so sad. I really wanted to see them continue that push, but I guess the whirlpool is too much of a deterrent. HackAustin making sure to do that job. We're gonna only make sure that Sanctified secures some objectives, and a small one with the Pyromancer to boot. Maybe gonna try to go for more, but likely not gonna be the case. Reyhum gonna just try to heal everyone up back to full and prepare for the next engagement. If they can keep that up though, they're in a good spot. If they can keep that one up, they're in a very good spot. Frostech had the movement there, had the idea to get the big pillar of agony off, but once again, just like with Nico, if you don't have some follow-up to that, you're a sitting duck. You're in a lot of trouble right there if you don't actually get anything up to follow up off that good CC. Really, the only one who seems to need no introduction, has no issue with that, is HackAustin. But the Kraken is back up, and it's going to be right again, right onto Reyhum's head. So much damage. The Anvil of Dawn dropped on Reyhum. Going to take him out of this fight early. Solar Swing not going to help you. Zoinked going to pick up a double. Now retreating on back through the dual lane side. Nico's not happy about that, though. Might try to go back in. I am out of breath. Cosmic, break this down. What's going on?
Oh my lord. Right when it seems like one team's finally pulling a little bit ahead, we're back to the same situation. We're looking like a less than 500 gold difference between the two teams 20 minutes in.
Yep.
I mean, this is just absolutely insane. Just both teams constantly back and forth and back and forth. Yeah, less than 300 gold difference and even less than 2,000 XP difference. Still slightly in the favor of Sanctified, even though it seems like they took a big loss there. Just still so even that I think nothing is going to change until we eventually see exactly what I'm looking at here. Grouping for the Fire Giants, and this is exactly the type of game style that I was talking about from Wild Inferno. Grouping up early at these Fire Giant fights, getting their wards down, and getting the value.
He
just rode the Fire Giant!
He grinded! He grinded, bro! He rail grinded over the
That was sick!
He's playing, dude, give him like at least 300 style point multiplier. He's playing Tony Hawk's Skater Edition right now. That's crazy. Oh my god.
That was insane.
If we've seen anything right now, it's some crazy pro rail grinds here from
I've
these
never
members.
seen anything like
they're
that.
multifaceted when it comes to their skill set. Almondbutter gonna try to maybe find out the hard way, taking quite a bit of damage from the members of Sanctified at the moment. Gonna be diving on in though. Hey, I don't want to find a kill on a FullOfShrimp. Anvil of Dawn is down. barkyj gonna find a return on Almondbutter, but the support is not a great exchange for the carry. Unfortunately, gonna lose quite a bit of damage, and we do see that indeed HackAustin's on the prowl. No Kraken to boot, but you don't need it. You got Zoinked finding quite a bit of damage on a Reyhum, gonna fall next, trying to find the engage on the backline on the HackAustin, but it's too late. You only have the support to give you any damage alongside the solo. It's not quite enough. Frostech gonna find it onto the support. 3 down in exchange for 1. Not the greatest trade, as well as the amazing style points secured by Wild Inferno. They saw that amazing rail grind and they said, we gotta rally for that one, and they brought it to great effect.
Oh, and again, this is just what I had mentioned. You know, they're just dead even games up until you're starting to go for the fire, and then Wild Inferno like really shows the power that they have. Securing it, Nico falls as well, making the total of deaths up to 4, and now the biggest gold lead that we've seen in this set, around 3k gold in favor of Wild Inferno. They're able to get the Fire Giant buff, and you know, it just, I mean, this is, I don't mean to like toot my horn so hard. This is exactly what I mentioned is the reason why Wild Inferno won. It's exactly what they need to do. Excuse my soapbox. As Reyhum drops very low. Woo!
Knife's barely going to miss there. Unfortunately, the aimbot was not quite landed from Hey 901. You're going to find a lot of damage. Anvil of Dawn will come down. Landfall, I guess, try to use in response. Maybe a misclick there. Very unfortunate though for King of Darkness. That could really come into good use here for the Siege. Whirlpool is just providing enough damage on its own. You don't even need a Kraken right now if you're HackAustin. Those things are doing tons because they can't escape out of them, and Reyhum can't escape right now from the basics of Hey 901. Gonna look to pursue some even more damage. Driving strike though from Nico, gonna negate that as an option. Nico is really making it happen for the members of Sanctified.
K9's ego got a little too inflated there. Got punished. Dashing in on their Phoenix line was a little excessive by Hey 9. I completely respect it. But it's just pretty obvious that it wasn't going to end quite as well. But still, with 4 members of Wild Inferno, the Fire Giant, picking up that Pyromancer Runic Bomb and the Emperors, you know, it's kind of knocking on it. But helping out the Siege when the games like this just come down to, you know, these Fire Giant fights, which you feel confident in winning. It's safe to say just being able to quickly burst down the Titan, burst down these Phoenixes, eventually leading into the Titan. It's definitely a lot of value to be had. You know, if you're wiping 2, 3, 4 members in every Fire Giant fight, like you were in game number 1, and obviously here in game 2.
Gonna try to find some objectives of their own right now, the members of Sanctified, but they might have taken a bit too long. Now taking to the skies, Anvil of Dawn. Don't group up. 3-man's done right there. The Maui bubble is going to be saved by the Magi's blessing, going to make sure that you're not going to quite take the amount of CC you would have before. But Nico now going to be in quite a bit of trouble. Gonna retreat on back. Hell heals are being provided, so at least you have that to look forward to as well as your own. But they're on full retreat. Oh no, barkyj going to be in quite a bit of trouble. Going to have to expend the ult there defensively. Wise move. This tier 2 can be sacrificed to your life. Cannot be. You need all members right now to stand up against this massive siege that's coming in down on the dual lane side.
Massive siege indeed. Are going to be aided by Fire Giant.
3-man pull! Big damage right now coming onto HackAustin, but the Kraken will supply quite a few of its own. Frostech gonna find the kill with the Pillar of Agony in conjunction with it. barkyj will fall. Right now, we do see that all members are looking a bit low on the front line of the members of Sanctified, but they have the heals from the Hercules to get himself in the fight a little bit. Reyhum gonna provide a counter kill there onto Hey 901. Excellent job with the driving strike. Nico once again setting up the team for success with these amazing setups. Driving strike away from your team though might be a bit too overzealous there, my friend. Heals barely going to be enough. Anvil of Dawn's back up already. He's driving back in for seconds.
Just not afraid. These health bars looking very low on Sanctified, but I mean, you're under the Phoenix.
They're all so low. They're all so low. I'm not going to be able to get out quite in time. Zoinked, it was like a playpen for him. He really wanted to take down all of them. Nico, King of Darkness, Reyhum, only going to be able to find one, but at the very least escaped with his life. That was very risky by him. He got stunned several times underneath the Phoenix. I believe, in fact, Frostech was doing a great job of tanking that Phoenix continually to ensure that the Phoenix didn't switch its attention onto Zoinked. If that's the case, which I believe it was, excellent play there to have awareness for your teammate, makes him stay alive in that fight, because Zoinked certainly would have been dead after one Phoenix shot there. So what looked to be a bit of an overzealous engage worked out in their favor. Going to pick up 1 kill onto Reyhum. And as we see this Fire Giant come back up, that's a pretty scary prospect to go in without your main healer.
Yeah, if I'm Sanctified going up into this Fire Giant, I'm absolutely terrified. They have not won a single Fire Giant fight this entire set, and just need to do something differently. They need to be grouping just a little bit better, not expending their ultimates on things that they can't like fully secure, and just be pushing their buttons just a wee bit better when it comes to these ever so important Fire Giant fights. You know, I get it. I find it a little rough myself. Having to work around all these walls and stuff can be stressful, but I mean, it's so important here. Oh my
Separated
lord.
out is the support from the Sanctified, and King of Darkness is going to be out of this fight for quite some time. Let's get some kills from Reyhum. But Reyhum's busy getting kills right now. Reyhum wants souls. HackAustin will fall first, but Reyhum will follow soon after Frostech. Zoinked with the Anvil of Dawn will fall up with another kill there. 2 down on the side of Sanctified. Going to ult on in. There's barkyj going to miss on the root, and that could have been crucial. Hey901 could have been out of this fight. 1 carry will drop, though. Frostech going to get a double for himself. Nico, as always, just causing as much havoc as possible. Going to finish off the remains of Hey901, and now just look to service as a distraction for a little bit, but the fear from Hades going to ensure that this cannot last long, as well as the CC provided by
Oh,
all.
come on.
Come on, guys. This is just cruel at this point. And then finally, Zoinked will take down Nico. Hey, Nico did his job, though. Secured a decent amount of time for his team, and also got a kill to boot onto their main damage there on Hey901. So, not too shabby. Not great. We're still out of quite the deficit here, and Pyromancer will be looked at, and the Fire Giant soon after, I'm only sure. But at the very least, you've stalled for a little bit more time to claw yourself back in.
Yeah, you've said it. I mean, both HackAustin and Hey901 were down for that. Would have been a tough call to try and get that Fire Giant without either one of them. Obviously, they decided to just play it safe. Hey, let's get the Pyromancer. It's extremely valuable when it comes to these sieges, being able to drop one of those runic bombs that just does absurd damage to towers and phoenixes. So, it's a very smart and wise call, I think, by Inferno. Just waiting. They know that they generally tend to win these fights. Obviously, the last one was a little bit scrappy, losing both Hey9 and HackAustin. But, I mean, they just feel confident in general when it comes to these fights here on Fire Giant.
HackAustin has been such a huge problem throughout these entire fights. Even when Kraken's on cooldown right now, and you still see him just spamming whirlpools, it's working to great effect. Pillar of Agony combined, especially with it, can be. Oh, hold on a second. Kraken expended to secure once again another Fire Giant, and now barkyj's looking to be susceptible to the snipes coming in there from Hey901, gonna fall first, and it's looking to be a full retreat from Sanctified, understanding this is not our dog, not our fight. We can't do much about this. Gonna ride the bubble there as Nico back onto base, looking to try to secure what little ground they can for the rest of this engagement. As long as they have Fire Giant, they're going to be pretty secure to siege down as many objectives as they so please. Mid Phoenix still down, it must be said too. So you have to consider that they're going to be clearing those fire minions from the mid lane, but now it seems they're going to look for the solo lane Phoenix after getting down this tier 2. Are the members of Wild Inferno? They've just never been able to get anything off these big objectives. Sanctified has never won a Fire Giant. It's been really unfortunate for them. They've tried their darndest, but just have not been able to pull it together.
Yeah, I mean, to their credit, they have had some fairly decent Phoenix sieges. Obviously, I mean, that last one where they're going to kind of just run around. Almond Butter blinks in. Beautiful taunt into the Kraken.
Gonna be able to escape. The only one it actually found was the one you wanted to come onto, which is King of Darkness. Gonna be able to escape on out of that one just fine. But Hey901 is gonna make sure that they get as much cleanup as possible. Ram gonna fall. And Almond Butter looking to be maybe on the menu at the moment. No, gonna be able to get out. And Nico, the most important member to bring peel and kills for the team, has fallen. Almond Butter with a sliver of health. Anvil of Dawn is up right now. Going to see if he can find maybe FullOfShrimp. Gonna back on out wisely. Yeah, there it is. And now they're looking to just push down on this Titan, put as much pressure as possible, maybe try to get a sneaky kill while they're at it. You do have solid members to defend this. FullOfShrimp is capable. Landfall gonna come in for some solid damage, and Zoinked is looking to be in a bit of trouble, gonna retreat on out. HackAustin will be the first to fall. Low mobility is Poseidon. Almond Butter is maybe next. Low health at the moment. Zoinked, though, gonna find one at barkyj, and retreating on out is the Maui, not gonna be able to find salvation from the fountain. Hey, I want to pick that one up. Another double there for Zoinked, and a deicide will once again claim the fate of Sanctified, and it's looking to be a clean. Sorry, not queen, but they got some queens on the team right now, as Wild Inferno will bring themselves an easy victory there for themselves. what looked to be a solid start there for Sanctified has fallen to the wayside, unfortunately. It's a Wild Inferno victory. We will see you at the desk for the wrap-up. Hello, everyone. Welcome on back. You just saw the ending of an unfortunate set there if you're a fan of Sanctified, but a very proud one if you're a member of Wild Inferno. Going to clean that one up 2-2-0. And it's not like that there weren't moments where this looked incredibly even. Once again, we saw a lot of back and forth action here from both teams. It seemed that neither really could gain the upper hand. What do you think was the main turning point there, Cosmic, that allowed them to swing it in their favor for the members of Wild Inferno?
I mean, it's the same exact thing that we saw in game number 1. The thing that I had mentioned and highlighted on the previous test segment was just that these Fire Giant fights just would consistently go in favor of Wild Inferno. I can't pinpoint exactly why, what the positioning was, the issues were with the fights that Sanctified was taking, but it just seemed like Wild Inferno had it down to an absolute science. You know, despite being down at some points, despite being completely even, it just didn't matter. When it came to these Fire Giant fights, they showed up, they took your name, they got your number, and they got you seated very quickly, and it turned into 20 minutes of dead evenness to Zoinked ending up being 12-1, Hey901 11-4. Just really, really great. I mean, Frostech was not having a great time in lane, 5-11. I mean, just these Fire Giant fights, Sanctified couldn't do anything about. Wild Inferno absolutely had their number, and they just were unstoppable, it seemed, around those fights.
I want to throw credit to HackAustin because, yes, the kill-death ratio might not be as impressive, but they were doing such great work. You see the player damage for itself, highest by a decent amount over their own teammate, Hey901, who's also providing those numbers. But Hack was doing their job, bursting someone out, eliminating them from the fight, and oftentimes not even trading out your own. You're usually able to get off a few more whirlpools before you saw HackAustin falling, taking a bow out of the fight. But off of the Athena taunt, off of a Pillar of Agony, if you have a Pillar of Agony as well as a whirlpool, you're moving backwards. I don't care how much movement speed you got. So that was just really crucial. I felt like HackAustin was doing a great job, just not only with the damage, but zone control. We saw some fights that were really turning in Sanctified's favor. HackAustin managed to completely negate it as being a complete total loss by walling people off with the whirlpool, and they really couldn't do much about it. Nico was the only one pushing in for some of those fights. And I do also, speaking of people we want to throw credit on to, Nico, man, consistently dominating in terms of their lane for both of these games. Nico was making it happen, even in the parts of the game where Sanctified was starting to lose it a little bit, didn't have that fire going. Nico really was keeping the embers alive, stoking those flames. So I really want to throw credit to the solo laner for them.
Yeah, I couldn't agree more with Nico. Very, very incredible performance. Just keeping his team alive and in it, and a large reason why the games were dead even for so long was the plays that Nico was making. Also, Reyhum on this hell looked really, really incredible
I agree.
early and mid stages of the game. Obviously, late when you're getting CC chained and comboed and krakened and freaking Rama ulted, it's a little bit more rough. At least you're not having a great time, at least in the kill death ratio department. Yeah, just not too fun. But I mean, that was an incredible set overall. Very entertaining. You know, it seems like a lot of times the Fire Giant fights can go on for a long time. It can stretch out. It can be a bit stale. It was quite the opposite in this thing. The Fire Giant fights were always entertaining. There's always something happening.
Absolutely.
Freaking HackAustin was out here 360 manual double YY. I don't know, grinding on the Fire Giant. That was insane. I never
let's talk
seen
about
that
Hold
before.
on a second. All right, high res. You got to keep that in there. I don't care if it's a bug, man. That was awesome. I
That was pretty
I want to
lit.
see like the multiplier from Tony Hawk Pro Skater come up when that happens, because that was
Yeah.
insane. I'm sorry. That's where I think they lost it. Reyhum saw the sick moves that HackAustin was pulling. Was like, all right, you got it, bro. I rode some trees, but you rode the whole ass Fire Giant. That was crazy. I do want to say, one, I'm not to throw any disrespect at all, but if I'm looking right now at Sanctified, the one thing that I think was consistently lacking a little bit was, unfortunately, the Cernunos in comparison to the carry that we were seeing from the Wild Inferno side. FullOfShrimp was trying to make it happen, doing their darndest. It wasn't even in the laning phase oftentimes that it was really being a problem. You really didn't see dropping any solo kills FullOfShrimp, but just not bringing it to the team fights, unfortunately, to the extent you want a Cernunnos to. It's an ADC, it's an attack damage carry, and we just weren't seeing that carry element come at all from FullOfShrimp, unfortunately. Pretty lacking on the damage numbers. Sure, Cernunnos can maybe last a little bit longer in a fight with a built-in sustain, but it seems that didn't even become a factor when you have this burst comp. You need to be making sure that you're getting some kills of your own. And even, you can ignore maybe the 0 kills. Okay, maybe it's got a lot of assists, but not even that much kill participation. Just not able to really get much going there, unfortunately, in the tank for Sanctified. Hey 901, on the other hand, was making it happen pretty early on with some really solid rotations, some really solid global presence using those snipes. So if I'm Sanctified, obviously you're not looking to, overharp in this game. Every loss is potential for improvements, but I do think there's some room to be made there. And if I'm obviously members of Wild Inferno, I'm looking to recapture this energy, put it back into something else that we see in the future. But by no means are either of these teams out of the runnings here. Seeing some excellent play on both sides, and always good to see a Divine game that you really can't predict the end of. So, thank you all very much for watching. I'm Deelo, joined here by Cosmic Warrior, the co-caster. We had our friend iNooblet on the cams. Thanks for that, man. Really appreciate it. And we will see you all next time.
Smoke the way I like to kiss you. 'Cause I know you're with them while I'm here, staring at a red light. Stopped, windows down, cursing at the street signs. When every road could lead me back to the memories that we